guys, and welcome back to another great episode of Pardon Our Honesty. I'm Tiffany,
I'm Megan.
and today we are talking about
Truth, lies, and opinions.
we're talking about truth, lies, and opinion. You'll never get the truth.
So that's the thing.
You'll never get the truth.
I think what I find amazing is how people's opinions
Mm-hmm.
can be portrayed as truth,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like the worse it is, or the more exaggerated it is, or the more catchy it is, the more people believe it. Like, ooh, that must be like,
Yeah, the drama
the
that comes
drama.
along with this is my opinion. I believe it to be true, and everybody else is gonna believe me because why would I lie?
But like, why, for me personally, my question is, why don't people ask more questions? Like, okay, you're even my like best friend, right? So you post, I'm just using our friends' names. Leslie is doing something bad, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I know Leslie's a good
Yeah.
person. I know you're a good
Mm-hmm.
person. I'm just not going to go, oh my gosh, Tiffany, I can't believe it. Let me share that. Let me tell everybody not to talk to Leslie. I would probably call you and say, Tiffany, could you explain your post so I understand what that means, or your newsletter, whatever it is? And then I would go and talk to Leslie and say, hey, I heard this was being said about you. Could you clarify your standpoint?
Mm-hmm.
But why don't people do that?
Because they are not interested in the truth. They're not interested in validating and making sure that their opinion is actually what is the truth. Because my opinion is what I believe. So if it's what I believe, it's true to me. And I don't want to start gossip. I don't want to reach out to somebody else and they be like, well, where'd you hear that from? And why did you think it was true? And blah, 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 blah. So we just take it at face value.
I think too, if you feel a certain way, like if you posted that she was, I don't know, mean to animals,
Mhm.
I don't know, and I'm a big animal
Mhm.
advocate,
Mhm.
I'm just automatically going to believe you were telling the truth. And
Yep.
because I'm now related to that, or I can relate to
Mhm.
that subject.
Mhm.
So now I'm just going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she did that, with no context,
Nope.
no proof,
Nope.
no anything.
Nope.
Just, I'm going to share it, like it. I'm going to agree with you and I'm going to run with it, even though I know Leslie is a good person. And I don't really believe she would have done that.
Mhm.
But, I'm not even going to do the courtesy to figure out the whole picture, because you were so dramatic and
Mhm.
so appealing that I'm just going to
That you're
stick with
just
the
gonna,
drama.
and I'm your friend, and so me and you is down like four flat tires. So why would Tiffany lie? She's not gonna lie, so why shouldn't I believe her? But I've even seen it where even if the person is called on their lie, the person that did tell the mistruth or the half truth or not the whole truth is kind of like, well, but they never
It
admit
was my
that
perspective, but they don't
they
admit
never
that they were
admit they were
wrong.
wrong and that their information was wrong, or apologize to the other person and say, you know what, I'm really sorry. I screwed that up and I shouldn't have said what I said. They never do that.
Yeah, especially when it's through like Chinese telephone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I heard this happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wasn't there.
Nope.
There's no proof of that. Somebody told me that. So that's what I'm going to base it off of. How do you do that? And then make it to be fact.
Because it's still what I believe.
That's
But
crazy.
and then nobody asks the follow-on question.
Right.
When you're in a court of law and you're trying to prove your case and say, hey, this is what truly happened to this person, which is why this person is on trial. There are so many follow-up questions. There are so many things people dig into to make sure
Yeah.
when I present this story, it is absolute truth. Nobody does that.
No.
Even with stuff we see on the news,
Mm-hmm.
what we see on social media, nobody fact checks, period.
And it's scary.
It is very scary.
I mean, I did a live the other day. I don't know if you saw it. Yeah, you did.
I
You were on
did.
there.
Mhm.
And I was just ranting about how did social media become everybody's source of their only information, with no fact checking, no verification. Everything we see, we believe. And if you're a certain way,
Mhm.
okay, say I love puppies and I like puppies, I'm only going to see freaking puppies in my news feed. So I don't even know what's going on over here with the cats.
Oh.
because I only click things like, and I don't understand how people can be so close-minded to think. Now I know what my feed is, right?
Mhm,
So if something comes up that seems odd, I usually leave social media. I
mhm,
go search it.
mhm.
I'll Google it. I'll go
Yep.
to a certain news source. I will go chat GPT. Like I start deep, what I call deep diving on
Mhm.
it before I ever say anything. Cause I know people can share and do stuff that is not 100% the full picture. But ho when did people stop? I mean, when did people just jump on and just be like, "Oh, you posted it, must be true."
I don't know, cause I remember back before we had social media, we had email. AOL was a big thing, or chat on
Yeah.
AOL, blah, blah, blah. And so the scams started off as they send you this email from this African prince, and if you ever got this email and you fell for it, I am asking you so many questions right now in my mind as to what the hell were you thinking? They're African prince. They're about to come into some money, but something happened and they need help from you. And they promise they're going to pay you back if you only do this, this, and this. Ain't no way in the hell no African prince reaching out to little old Tiffany
Right.
in Fayetteville, North Carolina. But
People
so
believed it.
many people believe this because why would an African prince be reaching out to me? It
Right.
must be true. It
Right.
must be serious. And did no further inquiries trying to figure it out and sent this person thousands. I'm listening to a podcast right now where they are basically interviewing somebody that escaped one of those camps because those people get put into slavery. And until you pay your debt off by scamming other people through these emails, you can't get out or you don't ever get out. You just die in this camp where you're doing this.
That's crazy.
But nobody thought to ask, okay, well, why is he reaching out to
Well,
me?
and I feel like sometimes in those moments, like, you can get caught up. So, like, we have an older lady lunch that we go
Mm-hmm.
to,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the ladies had been scammed,
Mm-hmm.
and she really did believe somebody called her, and it was her nephew or her grandson that was in trouble, and I think the panic sets in. In those quick moments, I could see being taken advantage of. But when you see somebody share something on social media and you have the time to do your own due diligence, even newspapers, if they're running in elections,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, he did this and he did that." Why do we assume that's true without doing any due diligence?
Well, we had that situation here where the guy was running for office. Something came out about what he did. And so for me, I'm like, okay, well, did he really do it?
Yeah,
Where's the rest of the information?
right.
But as people investigated, which is
But
what you should do,
mhm,
then it came out, oh crap. Well, yeah. But he never admitted I made a mistake. He blamed it on everybody else.
right. Well, in the headline, here's the deal. Nobody's getting past that original headline. Oh, record, hidden criminal charges, fraud. You get that headline and thousands of people click. It doesn't matter what happens after that.
Mhm.
That's already
No,
done. Done
it's too
deal.
late. Yeah, I knew
It's
I
already
knew
done.
from when that headline came out, you're gonna drop out of this
Yeah,
race
because it's too
because
late.
you can't overcome this bad publicity that
Because nobody's reading the follow
no,
up.
even though it might have been a mistake or just
Oversight
bad,
or
just bad juju for you, you're not gonna get past this.
yeah.
And he absolutely dropped out of the race
Yeah.
because somebody made that bold statement that's like, "Okay, well, yeah, what you did was kinda
But that's
crappy, but it wasn't like you
murdered
murdered
somebody. Right.
somebody or something.
Right.
Come on now."
I think though that's it, the clickbait. I mean, even on regular, I think the kids call it rage baiting, but I feel
Oh,
like, yeah, rage baiting. You say and do things you know are going to get people really upset
I think people
quickly.
do that all the
I
time.
think people do it all the time. If I disagreed with something that happened, right? I
Mhm,
could post, I disagree how the library handled my account being delinquent,
mhm.
and I wish they would have sent it to me by email in the future, blah, blah, blah. But if nobody's going to give a shit about that. But if I write, oh my gosh, your local library frauded me and they scammed and they deliberately took my library card and took extra money for no reason and da da da. Everybody is going to click on that.
'Cause it's exciting. "Oh, look at this bad stuff that's happening." We don't
Yeah.
care about the good stuff.
And it's
We only want
like,
the drama.
really? You're not even like, but I think that in the last 2 weeks, I am like literally over the top in disbelief at how much, and it just has reinforced the fact rage baiting and click sources, and you can lie and
Mhm.
exaggerate as much as you freaking want, and everybody will get on the bandwagon because their little feelings got hurt before, or they could relate to one little thing.
Yeah, one
And
little
so
thing.
you must be telling the truth
Mhm.
instead of grown ass adults going out there and going, let me look into
Or
this.
even the person that's making the comments, did you talk to the people that were
Right,
associated with this? Do you really have all the facts that you're saying you have?
right,
Show me the proof. That's what
right,
I'm gonna want. I'm
right.
gonna ask. Show me the proof. Let
Because
me
every
see
time
what
somebody
evidence you got.
puts a headline, I mean, all the stuff that's been going on the last 2
Mhm.
weeks, it's like people can put whatever they want and
Yeah.
people are clicking it and open it. And, but just like you said when you got here, okay, so then people complain about stuff. We want change. We want change. We want change.
Nobody wants no
And
damn
then what did
change.
you say the stats were for
Nobody
our
wants
local
change.
right? But people want to complain about change. But
So we're having primary elections. So that's narrowing down the running field for our municipal election. So instead of 10 candidates, you have two or three candidates for the main election. So we had early voting. At the end of early voting, only 1,400 voters, just under 1,500, had voted in the primary election. This is where your taxes are decided. This is where crime and your chief of police is brought in. This is where spending happens for
and
your
what's our
city.
population?
We have over 300,000 people
Yeah.
in the city
Yeah.
of Fayetteville.
Yeah.
1,400 people made their voice known. That is who is going to control your government. For those 1,400 people, because evidently they're the only ones that give a shit.
But see what I'm saying?
But you got
But those
hundreds of people.
200,000 people are gonna complain, and they're gonna post on your social media that you made us pay for sidewalks, and we didn't want sidewalks.
Do you need damn vote?
And, oh, and your taxes, why did the tax rate change? Well, they have to change the rate. I mean, but they're gonna complain about it, but I bet they didn't get as
They
involved
did
anywhere
not
or even
vote.
learn how the tax thing worked.
They did not
I
vote.
I
So
I
that's the part that pisses me off, right? We complain about things
everything.
need to change, life needs to change. People who are in control, in charge, needs to do better. But where are you when it comes to electing or affecting these leaders? We have public forums at the um, city
Council, yeah.
board meeting,
City
council
council
meeting.
meeting. Yeah.
Yes. How many people really go there at least once or twice a year? Not
Yeah.
saying you need to go every month, but that's where you're going to find out what the heck they're doing in the
Mhm.
county
Yeah.
or the city. You're not going to find that through the newspaper because they're going to be biased and report it how they want it to sway to their group of people that love and like them.
Yeah. But that's the other thing too. If you're not at, like, if your candidate, let's say, or not your candidate, the elected person does something you don't like, right? You base that person on one decision. But that's the only thing that gets attention. What if they've done 10 great
Mhm.
things? What if they've done 10 awesome things, but because you're not involved, you have no freaking idea, and then you get the one headline that they raised your taxes. So now they're the worst
Yeah.
freaking person in the world, blah, blah, blah. But you've been so disengaged. You have no idea what they've done positively. You're not choosing to find out. You just want to be angry. You haven't volunteered. You haven't voted. And now you want to throw a storm because you didn't like it.
I'm pissed off because you did that one little thing that everybody commented on. Nobody talked about the 10 good things you were doing.
Right.
Everybody commented on this one little, oops, well, maybe I wasn't educated enough. Maybe I didn't hear from my constituents enough to be like, oh, if I vote yes for this, they're going to be pissed off. Not considering all the other good stuff I've done. Nobody thinks about that. They just
Or
want to see the negative.
right, or they don't know the positive of what he just
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He
Yeah.
might that constituent might have done something great, but because you don't understand it from the
Yeah.
beginning, it's automatically wrong, and that's where it stops.
Yeah.
The learning doesn't continue, the learning to know, the finding and here's the thing for me. We volunteer a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and we're in volunteer positions.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like this that happens all the time, I could never run for office. I would
No,
never be a political, like a city councilman. But secondly, it makes you want to quit. It
it
makes you
does.
quit wanting to be a
It does.
leader and makes you quit giving. If I added up how many hours, days, and
For
time
free.
for free that
For
I've
free.
devoted because I care, but then when people go to headlines instead of reality, it's like, cool, I'm good. I've done my impact.
Because like
I've
you were saying earlier, any of those people could have reached out to anybody that the comment was about. But
right.
did they? No, they
No.
chose not to. They chose to jump on the bandwagon, add fuel to the fire, and
Mhm.
just make it into this atomic bomb that, okay, I absolutely hope and pray that, and I'm just kind of a pessimist, I guess. I hope and pray that great, wonderful things come from this. I doubt it,
I
but
doubt it
I
too.
pray that great, wonderful things come from this, or that it encourages people to
Get involved.
ask the question. If you don't get involved, that's
That's
fine.
true.
But
Ask
you need to be asking questions. You need to know what the hell is going on. You need to read the rules and figure out, okay, what can they do? What can't they do? Whether
Mhm.
it's something you're a part of, whether it's your candidates that you're voting for in
Whether
this
you like it or you
upcoming
don't like it. Yeah.
election, whether you like them or not, you need to be asking questions and
Mhm.
not take all your information from social media because it is geared to whoever is writing it. If a person does not like you, why would they write something good about you?
Right.
If you're uncertain or want to know if what they wrote is true, look it up. Call
Look it
the
up.
person and ask. What
Yeah.
happened to calling my
Yeah.
friend? And you said this earlier and asking, girl, I saw this. I know that's not like you, but tell me what the hell going on?
Right. Or give me your
Who
version. Give me your version, but
and let me decide.
what
Then I have all the facts because I have that side, your side, and somewhere in the middle is the truth because you're never going to get the truth out of anybody. I don't care who you
Mhm.
are unless they are just that person that's going to be like, I walked into the I walked into the Walmart and I stole these 5 packs of drawers.
Right.
And then they walk out the store and go to the police. Who does that?
Yeah, they're
Nobody's
gonna do
gonna
that.
do. So that's the only way you would get the truth. Somebody decides I'm gonna tell my whole truth.
I agree.
Even in telling my truth, I don't tell the whole truth because some things I might not
You
be
don't
ready to
need
share,
right.
or everybody don't need to know that.
Right. Right. I was talking to with one of the boys' girlfriends the other day, and I was saying it's interesting in life, children or adults, the first instinct is to lie. Like when a little kid gets in trouble, did you take that? No. And they'll be like literally holding it because the fear, right? But then as adults, it's kind of switched from fear of getting in trouble to I'm going to lie to get the attention or get the traction I needed. So they use it to their benefit, where
Mm.
children lie because they're scared. They don't want to get in trouble and they think they're going to get in trouble and whatnot. But adults use it to lie and exaggerate to get their point heard and people in their favor.
That's crazy.
And I think it's
As you
interesting.
say that, it's so true.
Yeah.
It is so true.
Like, how does that happen?
And
Like,
then they hold on to it. Like I got one person in my life. And I'm like, you're gonna hold on to it till you die for why?
right.
Why why can't you just tell the truth, admit you made a mistake, and I'm willing to help you. Maybe if you just tell me the truth, but you're gonna sit here and lie? No, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't help you.
I just feel like yes, I trying to be careful what I say,
Of
but
course.
I think the life lesson for me,
Mhm.
especially in this last week, is even more so of seek understanding first,
Yes.
seek the knowledge first. Do not ever base a decision making decision or an opinion of a person, place, or thing without your own, either you doing it yourself. Like if they say that restaurant sucks, okay, okay, I might listen to 20 reviews of that, but me and Nick go check out stuff all the time. Let's go see for ourselves, unless it's
Mhm.
like under 90 health score. It makes me nervous. But if it's not under 90, then we're going to go check it out
Yeah.
myself
Yep.
because that's not really fair because now my one good review could help them
Yep.
versus everybody jumping on the bandwagon that it's a bad review, you know? So I think like that this last week or two is really, and here's the deal, doing shady shit to get what you want.
It's gonna bite you in the ass.
All I can pray is that karma comes back.
Let me tell you about that girl Karma. That chick, she don't forget about no damn
I
body.
mean,
You
when
hear
people,
me?
I mean, I feel like,
I don't ever have to see it,
yeah,
but I know within my know-it-all knowing of selves that what you do to other people,
it comes back to
it come
you.
back to you.
Especially, I feel like when there's things going on that, like, is, what do they call it, under the table or whatever, eventually the light will shine.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest. I think most people, when they go through a traumatic event or they're being made to be a bad person
Mhm.
or whatever it is, they suffer so much because they know the truth And it could be years until that truth, like people who accuse people of, bad things to them or
Mhm,
whatever.
mhm,
Everybody doesn't believe them or you're
mhm,
lying or whatever.
mhm,
And then 10 years later, they had to wait in their own prison
mhm.
of that to find out, told you. I
Yeah,
told
told
you.
you.
Like,
Yeah, and
I
you
think
see that
it's,
in the prison system a lot that, especially before we had all of the DNA testing and
oh,
all of
I'm
the
sure.
stuff that we have to prove or exonerate people from crimes, like people have spent 15, 20 years in jail saying, I didn't do this. And everybody's looking at, dude, you in jail, you lying.
Right.
But the person was actually being honest, and that material that they collected 30 years ago, 40 years ago, tested again. But like you're saying, they have to go through so much just to
Mhm.
get vindicated um, for that.
But nobody will ever see
No,
them as an innocent person
no,
after that
no.
because they've been tainted by the
Mhm,
trial, by the news, by
mhm,
the jail
mhm.
time. Like, and I think that would be my advice to, like, I mean, the younger generation on my live the other day, and I was talking, my friend Jay wrote on there, this generation of kids, that's all they've been grown
Yeah.
up with the
Yep.
social media.
Yep.
They don't know how to do reasoning. They don't know how to say that doesn't make sense
No.
between AI and the articles and
Mm,
the clickbait. I mean, they are in it. And I was using that David the Rapper thing, one of my kids was like, there's no way he could have done it. Everybody said he was like, because he's only going by what is being put in front of him. Then a week later, when they're showing all this other stuff, now it's like, now you've got to start using some reasoning. So it's
mm,
like, I think that it's a little scary for younger generations because I think our age, I mean, we all fall victim to it,
mhm,
but
mhm.
we know to do some digging and
Yeah.
ask some questions and
Yeah.
cross reference. That ain't happening when kids are on TikTok and Instagram.
No.
They're just going, oh, did you see that?
Yeah.
And then they share it with 10
Mhm,
people. Oh, did you
mhm,
see that? It could
mhm.
be true,
We're
false,
just we're just a share
share
generation.
happy. Yeah.
Share happy. So something like you're saying comes out, and instead of me sharing it, I look at it like that don't seem right. That seems a little
I think it's
crazy.
very rare the stuff
And
I
then like
share.
we talked about last week, we got clips. You only got a clip.
Mhm.
You didn't look at the
The
whole
whole
hour
thing.
conversation.
Yeah.
You got a 15-second
Second,
clip,
the
and you're
clickbait.
deciding based on that 15 seconds. They're guilty. They
Yep.
did it. I know.
Yep.
I know. And it could have been
Never even heard of the person
15
before.
minutes later. Because I love that with my true crime. 15, in the beginning, I'm like, they're
Mhm.
going to jail. They
Yeah.
did it.
Mhm.
And then at the end, oh shit, we really thought it was them. But listening to everything matters.
Yeah,
The whole conversation. You can't make judgment on 15 seconds.
I agree.
You can't. But I did learn people, I'm always, like you said, a pessimist. I always give people the benefit of the doubt.
Well, that's optimist.
Okay, well, yeah. I always give people the benefit of the doubt,
You're an
right?
optimist.
I'm an optimist. I'm
Yes.
gonna try to find a silver lining. God got something for me to learn from this, but I think for me this week, I really was shown who people really are. I was shown who is for me, who is against me, and it was just so clear that okay, you can't just sit in my face and be my friend anymore. I'm sorry.
I agree.
That train has left the station. I'm not even gonna pretend that it didn't bother me. Yes, yes, it bothered me. And when I see you, or if you see me, please just keep walking.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Don't say nothing to me. Don't pretend like you're my friend. You don't give two shits about me if you cannot come to me in my face and say, "Hey,
Mhm. What's going on?
amen,
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I just
amen."
said my small circle just got smaller. And the fake, I'll be polite. I ain't doing fake nice. I'll be polite.
I'm not gonna be polite. You weren't polite to me. Why should I be polite to
I
you?
mean, I'll be polite, but I ain't speaking. I'm not being overly. I'm not I don't know. God forgive me. Blown
But
away. I'm blown away.
yeah, I learned a lot about just humans
Yeah.
and the
That
lack
that
of decency with humans.
and I think I learned a lot about what people are willing to say on social media versus to your face.
Girl.
Right? I
People
mean,
say all kind of stuff on social
right.
media, but you bet if you know Tiffany, you know damn well you better not say that to my face. Cause the crazy Atlanta chick that grew up in the ghetto, she gonna come out real bad. And
I'm
all
like,
that professionalism gonna go out the door.
I just find it interesting that anybody behind a keyboard and that that I've not interacted to in years in my world, I've not seen them anywhere I've been or anything. And some of the stuff I'm just like, okay.
One thing I will say, I'm really happy I'm not a social media freak because, like I said, you were saying earlier, for me, I see plants, I see vacations, and I see my kids and my friends doing great, wonderful things. Outside of that, it's pretty much that's my social media. I only do Facebook. I put stuff on Instagram, I put stuff on TikTok, but I don't scroll because I
Well,
can't. I
Tiffany
can't
was
do.
putting stuff on Instagram stories, but she didn't realize she only had her husband as the viewer.
I had no idea.
Edward has seen every story where the
And
rest of us have
nobody
not
else.
seen
I
it.
was like, what the heck? No wonder nobody knows about the volunteering and
Why
the
do I
toys for
see?
tots
Why
and
do
my
I
little
see the
plans.
review?
Right. I didn't even know to look for the views. I did not. Anyway, so I don't stroll. I'm not a scroller. I will rather watch TV, play my little stupid video game, or talk on the phone with Megan or some other friends somewhere else. But I am so happy that I'm not a social media freak because if I was, I would probably be in trouble
I agree.
because I would have said some really ugly stuff
I kept telling
just
myself,
out of the emotion of
right?
what? Why would you say something?
Yeah.
Why would you?
I kept saying, "Don't comment, don't comment, don't comment," and then 10 o'clock at night would come, and more. I'd be like, "Fuck that, I'm commenting."
You were just pissed off more for the rest of that I was just
Time for.
I dreamed about what I wanted to say to this person for 2 nights in a row and was like, Tiffany, you have got to let it go.
Oh my
Just
god!
let it go. Pray
I
about it.
know you just gotta
God will take care of it. It will be fine.
Don't feed ignorance with your emotion, and I know that. And then I think when people attack me, my friends, people I know are doing the right thing. And I know that the people saying and doing things don't know what they're talking about, but it's so hard for me to ignore that because I know how much time, I know the right minds, I know the compassion, the everything these people put into it as a whole, and then to, make up shit and people dive into it. I'm like, what? Like, do they know?
But I think that's one way change can happen because I do feel like this is not uncharted territory. It's just a different vehicle for how everything is being shared. But when crazy, wild comments were being made about women should stay home and only have kids and they're not smart enough to hold a job and blah, blah, blah. And all these women came together and was like, what? Yes, the hell we can. And we're about to show y'all nothing is moving or getting done in this country until you give me rights. Same thing with racial disparity. Y'all not gonna get anything done until y'all give us rights. And you have people from both sides. So even in the women's movement, you have men helping them. So that's the only way change can happen is you to get like, what the hell? Oh,
Yeah.
this is not right. Let us come together and figure out how we can make this different. So like I said, I hope it works out.
Yeah. Mhm.
I hope it works out, and
Something like
I'm
that.
so
I do wanna say something really
excited.
quick about our last episode we were talking about. So a friend of ours came into the office the other day to visit. I won't say her name because she comes to visit in secret. And
Uh-huh.
we were talking and I asked her, like, our last episode we talked about this is a little off topic from today, but I just
Mhm,
wanted to follow up from last week. Left and right, what do you think
mhm,
of, right? So she is African American and she said left is black, right. Wait, is that right?
I don't think
People say
so.
left is black and
Mhm,
right. Okay. I don't think that because I know so many people are both
mhm,
ways. Okay. So she was like, yes, I definitely think that. Left is black, right is white. And I was like, really? So then I was like, interesting. So then another person came in who was white, and I
mhm,
was like, what do you think of it as? And they were like, rich and poor. And I'm like, what? And then somebody else came in who's Hispanic,
mhm,
and they said, liberal, like left is liberal, like all the things that everybody gets upset about, and the right is old school, like religious
Mhm,
and conservative. And I think that's more how I see it too, is like conservative more, liberal more. But
mhm,
it was interesting between Hispanic, white,
mhm.
and Black African American that the 3 different ways,
Yeah,
and I think that alone, guess that kinda ties back into what we were talking about today.
mhm.
Based on how you view
Yep,
things, somebody could say something, and
mhm.
because of your views or your
You're
life
gonna believe
experience,
it
your
or
upcome
not.
you're thinking, "What? Did they just say that?" And boom, you think that's what they mean. But it could be because this person sees things a totally different way. They didn't even mean it that way, but because of our life
Yeah,
experience, that's how you, like, target and go.
yeah.
So I think that has
So
to
you
come
just
into
run
play
with
of,
it
like
because that's what you've been taught all your life. And so until you have an open mind of being willing to be like, oh, this that's not how it works. That's not true. Then you never change that stance. And
right.
so you just go right down that
Right down
line.
that just like this your news feed. You
Just
like the
go
same
right
thing
down
down the
that
line, and
line.
that's
Yeah.
how you get it.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Please ask questions.
Ask
Ain't
questions. Even if
nothing
it's
wrong with
hard to,
asking
ask
questions.
questions. Don't share
I ask
things if
crazy
it's not
questions.
verified. I always ask questions.
I always ask crazy questions.
Yeah.
Like, is that really what you think? But
Yeah.
I'm just a crazy kind of girl.
I'm
So
always willing to learn from somebody, so
yes, because how else do you
I
learn?
may not agree, but it's good to know.
Right?
Okay, I understand that, but I don't agree, but at least now I know where you're coming from.
Amen. And I know who you are.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right, guys. What are your thoughts about truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help me God. Amen. Do we
Amen.
even tell it or what? Let us know down in the comments below. And if you're watching us on any of the streaming platforms, please leave us a review, a rating, and give us some feedback. As this is how we're going to grow our show to be the next.
Great number 1 podcast.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys. Until next time. Bye.